This is my 2004 and a half Dodge Cummins with the high output 5.9 liter on it. And the other day I installed this Sinister diesel coolant bypass filter. It was by far the easiest installation that I've ever put on any vehicle. Basically it's just got two hoses, so they remove one of the plugs on the engine block, and that feeds the filter intake. My only complaint with this kit was they did send me the wrong threaded nipple, so I just went down to Lowe's and got one, and that was no big deal. But other than that, this is the easiest thing ever. And then on the heater return line here, they have you cut out a 1-inch section of the hose, and this is the clean fluid coming back into the engine, and then it just routes down to the left side frame rail, and I'll show you that in a second here. And this is where they mount the filter bracket itself. It's super easy. They have this black metal bracket that just gets mounted through an existing hole on the frame. So there's a big long bolt, goes up, grabs it. And then they're really awesome machined filter head mounts onto that metal bracket, and then the filter, and then you have the lines going to and from the engine. They put these valves on there too, so you can shut the flow off for when you change the filter. I would imagine, since it is the low point, that the fluid's going to want to siphon out at this point. I changed it out at 72,200 miles, and they say to check the filter and cut it open after 500 miles. They give you the option of using this Wix filter and then a Caterpillar filter. And the Caterpillar filter was really expensive. I found that just going down to the Cat dealer, you can get it. It's only 15 bucks. I think Sinister wanted 37, if I remember right. So once I put 500 miles on this thing, we'll cut it open, and I'll show you what's on the inside. The coolant itself only has about 5,000 miles on it. I had to replace a radiator last year, so we'll see how it looks. But just trying to keep the truck nice and clean and running as long as we can. All right, cool. Later. Okay, so we put 500 miles on, and we pulled that Wix filter off, put the Cat filter on. It's Cat part number 9N3717. I don't know how big of a difference it makes, but it sure looks pretty blue, matches the Sinister diesel. Alright, cool. Okay, so this is 500 miles, and cut this thing open. It looks pretty clean to me. Did find this little piece of silicone or whatever it is stuck in that filter, but otherwise it's pretty clean. There's a little bit of dirt right in here, a little bit of dirt, but overall it's pretty clean. So I think they say to change it out after 500 miles and then run the next one for 3,000 and then change that out and cut it open and look at it. But this is looking pretty clean, so I think I'm going to just skip the 3,000 mile step and go straight to the running the next one for a year. I think I'll just get on probably not a year. I'll probably change them out at the same time I change the oil, so 7,500 miles, or when I do oil analysis anyway at 7,500 miles. But I don't think there's a need to change another one out. This thing's pretty clean, but like I said, I only got about 5,000 miles or so on the coolant since I changed it out, so I wouldn't expect there to be a lot of dirt and grime in there. Cool. So just for fun, I pulled all this filter media out and strung it up here flat so you could see it, and there's really not a whole lot of stuff on it, and this is only after 500 miles. I mean, there's a little piece of rust there, and there's that crazy little piece of silicone that I found, and a little piece of grass is what it looks like there, and some other little rust specks. But for the most part, I mean, there's not a whole lot of stuff on here. And again, I only have 5,000 miles on the coolant, so I'm sure that has a big part to do with it. So I think I'm going to skip the changing the filter out after 3,000 miles like they talk about, and just I'm going to put it on every other oil analysis and make it a 15,000 mile service. I think they recommend once a year, so I don't know. I'm going to probably do it every 15,000 miles. So we'll cut the next one open and I'll show that to you as well. And I got some before and after pictures of what the coolant looks like, and so we'll put those up and do a little side-to-side comparison. So there's and this is the Wix filter again, and it's just a paper membrane filter. This is like 6.5 feet worth of paper membrane in here, or I'm sorry, 7.5 feet of paper membrane that it's in here, and it's 3.5 inches wide. So I don't know, I guess it's about 2.25 square feet of filter material. So we'll compare it to the cat filter when we cut that one open.